Hey, what is going on everybody? Desir here with another Cosmic Crucible video for you. I do apologize, I wasn't able to get a weekly recap video out for you this past weekend. The replay button wasn't working and I felt my offensive attacks, there wasn't really anything interesting on there for me to kind of put on that video, so I decided not to do one for this past week. However, if you do have any interesting videos that you would love to submit to the community or to this channel, there is that Discord link in the description below. Feel free to join that. And anytime you have any interesting attacks that you want to share or brag about, feel free to put it in there and we can go over that in the weekly recap for you. And for a quick reminder, if you haven't done so already, please remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Without further ado, let's get into it. And my opponent today is Breaker. They are about 63 million TCP, so this is going to be a punch down for me. I'm currently about 77 million TCP, so this is going to be about a 14 million punch down. Now, the TCP is definitely misleading because it depends on what you focus on and what you're currently building. If you build a lot of those older tunes, you're going to have more fluff on your TCP. Let's go ahead, check out the defense and see what they have there, because that will kind of give us a good gauge on where they actually are at. So my opponent today definitely chose violence as far as what he wanted to put on defense. So in stage 1, they have Cabal with Emma and Doom. Stage 2 is Hivemind Super Skrull. Stage 3 is X-Treme X-Men with Rogue. Stage 4, they have Darkhold with Apocalypse. Stage 5, they actually have their Pegasus on there. In stage 6, they have Secret Defenders with Quicksilver. So this is going to be a very turtle heavy defense. For offense, they're only going to have their Superior 6 on there along with the Black Knight. So this is going to be kind of interesting on how they decide to do their own attacks and try to be efficient as well. So for stage 1, the Cabal with Doom and Emma, I'm actually going to bring my Superior 6 in here, and one of the mistakes I actually make in this matchup, I should have made Green Goblin Classic a skirmisher. That way it can actually ability block several of these members that don't have Raider on them. So that's going to be the first mistake I make in this matchup, which you're going to see kind of at the start. Let's go ahead and look at the attack. So right off the bat, you kind of see me delay my first attack. I'm trying to decide how I want to play this because I didn't make Green Goblin Classic a skirmisher. If he was, I could have just used that ultimate and ability block several members. Instead, he's a Raider. If I end up doing the ultimate, there's a chance I could push Doom. I'm still going to ult anyways, because I need to do that turn meter rewind. So here Doom did not get pushed, so I was very lucky. With Kraven, I'm going to use that special on Doom to ability block him. That does end up killing Emma and Doom bleeds out. For Doc Ock, I'm going to use the special. I'm going to get my Shocker out there. And for the Spider Slayer, I'm just going to do my special. That's going to do a nice hit to the entire enemy team. And for Mysterio, I was trying to see which one was the ability block. It's the special. So I'm actually going to do the ability block on Iron Patriot so he doesn't do that special on me right off the bat. So that did end up putting blind also on Namor, so I was pretty lucky there. I'm now going to focus my attention onto Namor. I want to try to kill him before he does that ultimate, which is going to be pretty devastating if he pulls that off. So now it is the Shocker's turn. I'm going to do that ultimate to rewind Namor. For Green Goblin Classic, this I think was a mistake. I used the special. I wanted to kill the Iron Patriot off. However, now Namor got that ultimate off, and you see how devastating that was by flipping the buffs and doing all that damage. Kraven, I end up doing the ultimate. Doc Ock, I do the ultimate to extend those. I do the special here on Namor, so that way I can ability block him, and again, I get blinds out there. The Doc Ock is about to bleed out. The Green Goblin is pretty hurt right now with all the debuffs. And now I just have the Mysterio. I do the basic on Green Goblin Classic into Namor. And that barrier, you can see how that's keeping them alive. Shocker, I do the basic that calls in the Green Goblin Classic. And for Mysterio, I end up doing the ultimate for the heal blocks, and that gets some mirror images out there. So this here was a mistake. I accidentally did the basic. I meant to do the special, and that definitely cost me this matchup. As you see, I just lost Green Goblin Classic. That special could have done a lot of damage and potentially killed the Namor off. So now I'm going to have to come in here with a cleanup. So we'll kind of take a look at that next. So for the cleanup, I actually did all my other attacks first, and then I came back. So what I had left over that I felt could comfortably take this out is going to be my Pegasus team. So this is a very quick cleanup. Kestrel will be going first. I'm going to use the special because they have that safeguard. It can't strip the buffs off with the ultimate. Ironheart is up next. I'm going to just use that ultimate, do some nice AoE hits to the team. Rescue, I'm going to use that special. That's going to take the percent life off. The Kestrel ping does kill leader. Darkhawk, I do the ultimate here. And then Kestrel ping takes Namor out. This is very quick cleanup for me. For stage 2, I'm not sure if this would end up working, but I still want to give it a go because it is Hivemind Super Skrull in stage 2. There aren't a lot of counters for this yet as far as it being in the raid room. So I'm going to use Cabal with Void Knight and Red Goblin and see how this goes. So right off the bat, the enemy Void Knight is going to go first. He ended up doing the ultimate, so that throws ability block on everybody and pulled them together. The Gwenom goes next, does the ultimate, which does some pretty good damage to me. My Red Goblin is now able to go, but there is a taunt on the enemy. I just do the basic, the enemy Red Goblin does the ultimate, and I just backed out. I didn't want to risk kind of losing right there. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go in with a mirror match. This is going to be a 500k mirror match as well, so it is going to be a punch up. Hopefully I can get some good RNG for the coin flips on my side for this now. The enemy Super Skrull will be going first. He did his special into my Carnage because he's one that has the taunt on him. My Super Skrull is up next. I do the special, and I'm able to actually do a turn meter rewind into the Super Skrull and Red Goblin. My Void Knight got the coin flip. I do the ultimate, so all of them had their buffs flipped, and I have ability block on all of them. My Super Skrull is back up. I just have to do the basic because there is the taunt on Gwenom still. My Gwenom's up next. I do the ultimate, and here I actually knocked the Red Goblin into red, so I got the turn meter bonuses going now. My Red Goblin does the ultimate, throws all the debuffs over there. Gwenom and Carnage both end up dying. Void Knight is in red, so now I can actually turn all my focus into the Super Skrull and just tunnel him down and win this match fairly clean now. My Carnage is up. I'm going to use the ultimate into the Super Skrull. My Void Knight is up. I use the special just to make sure he can't do any abilities. Gwenom, I do the special into the Super Skrull as well, and he's now dead. And I get the Super Skrull ult for the finish. For stage 3, I'm going to use my Masters of Evil with Echo into the X-Treme X-Men with Rogue. This is a 1 million punch up, so this is going to be a pretty risky fight, but they should be able to pull this off as long as Echo doesn't die too early and I can get to Kang's ultimate to get that ultimate pulled off. Titania will be going first in this matchup. I'm going to target Forge and do the ultimate so that way he is ability blocked, and that's one less person I need to really worry about. Gambit's already starting the pings on Echo, unfortunately, for this matchup. Kang, I do the special into the Forge, and he is a striker, so I do get that follow-up attack into Forge. Rogue now has the taunt on herself. I'm going to use Moonstone's ultimate so I can do a turn meter rewind into Nightcrawler and Rogue. And Rogue here is actually stunned, so that's pretty good as well. I don't have to worry about her doing the special into me yet. Gambit unfortunately did end up taking out Echo with the pings. He ended up doing the special into my Absorbing Man, and you saw everybody started just tunneling him down with those assists. King, I get the ultimate off, that kills Sunspot and the Forge, and that also ended up killing the Rogue. So now I just have to worry about Nightcrawler. I'm gonna use the special into him, that way I can tunnel him down. Now I just have to worry about Gambit. I do Moonstone special into him, and that ended up killing Gambit off. So the assist definitely worked in my favor in this matchup. For stage 4, I'm going to use my Apocalypse Tangled Web with Red Hulk and Quicksilver into this Darkhold Apocalypse. This is going to be a little bit of a riskier fight. I want to try and get the Trauma Stun from Weaver into the Apocalypse. That way it can Trauma Stun him, and then my Apocalypse can ult and do the Falcon Punch into him, and then it's a very easy containment where I can take out who I need to on the Darkhold team because the charge is from the Spider Weaver. So for $20.99, you want to target Apocalypse and do the ultimate. That's going to hopefully put a vulnerable on him, however the vulnerable doesn't land on him for this case. The Weaver goes next. You do the ultimate, and I got the stun but I didn't get the trauma, so unfortunately I ended up speeding up this Apocalypse instead of actually trauma stunning him. The Heartless, he ends up doing the ultimate here. That is unavoidable, so that goes through those charges. The Apocalypse ends up doing the ultimate right here, and luckily he goes for the Red Hulk and one-shots him. Quicksilver is now up. I'm going to use the special into Wong to rewind him, that way I can try to delay getting that taunt on him. And I debate about switching to Apocalypse, but I end up doing the basic again into Wong. The Apocalypse does the ultimate, and here I'm going to use my Falcon Punch into the enemy Apocalypse. I'm going to use the Scarlet Witch ultimate. The Morgan Le Fay uses the special right here. And now my Quicksilver is going to take out the enemy Apocalypse. I basic and then I ultimate. And you can see how those charges from Weaver are definitely helping me stay alive. For Apocalypse, I now target the Morgan, I do the special, and that clears the whole field except for Wong. So now I just have to focus Wong down with Quicksilver's basic, and then basic again, and the match is over. For stage 5, I'm going to use Eternals with the Omega Red, Shang-Chi, and Falcon into the Pegasus team. This is about a 800k punch up, but we've used this in previous Cosmic Crucibles, so this should work just fine. Icarus starts this match out. I'm going to use the ultimate here. That's going to flip all these positive effects into negative effects and do that nice turn meter rewind. Cersei's up next. Do the ultimate there for another turn meter rewind. For Omega Red, I'm going to use the special into the Kestrel right here. Shang-Chi is up. I'm going to use his ultimate. That's going to get a nice turn meter rewind again. Falcon is up. I'm going to use the special. That's going to get us a lot of turn meter gain on this one now. Icarus is going to use the special into the Iron Man Infinity War. Cersei's going to use the ultimate into the Kestrel. That's going to call in assist on that attack. Now, Omega Red is up. I'm going to use the ultimate. That's going to end up killing pretty much everybody except for Rescue. Falcon's going to use the ultimate, and he actually gets the kill right there. So good job, Falcon, on finally getting a kill. For stage 6, I'm using my Cabal, Vulture, Lizard into the Secret Defenders Quicksilver. This is one of my favorite teams to use into this matchup. And you can see that Robbie is G19 and he's also 3 diamonds, so he's a pretty big boy. And we're going to see how this ends up going against this matchup here. So Vulture goes first in this matchup because of how many heroes are on the other side of the field. I'm going to target the Black Cat and do the special. That did flip a lot of her buffs right there. For Lizard, I'm going to use the ultimate that strips some additional buffs off of the Ms. Marvel Hardlight. Ms. Marvel does the ultimate to rewind the Vulture, which is perfectly fine. Iron Patriot uses the special that gets trauma and a bunch of debuffs out there. And here you can see how beefy that Lizard is actually taking those hits. I do make a mistake here. When I used Namor's ultimate, I stayed targeted on the Ms. Marvel Hardlight instead of switching to the Robbie. So I'm going to take some additional punishment that I usually wouldn't take. For Leader's turn, I target the Quicksilver to special him to take him out. Now I just have to worry about the Robbie. So this was still very efficient, but it could have been a little bit better. And I got the victory on this one. My opponent got a 40,973. I got a 49,368. Also, I want to give you a quick heads up because I didn't mention this at the beginning of the video. I am actually still in Masters 1. I was worried I was going to drop from Masters 1 to Diamond 3 at the end of last week, but I'm still hanging on by about 9 points, I think it was. So I'm kind of on the cusp. So I'm really trying to push for that 3-0 this week. That's my goal. 2-1 is still good, but I want that 3-0. I want the nice bump to kind of secure me and give me a little bit of a cushion. So let's go ahead, take a look at the defenses, see which room he actually had trouble with on clearing. So for stage 1, this is where I kind of had that dropped attack, then I had to come in with Pegasus to clean it up. I got a 79.58. I think if I would have actually used that special, that would have killed Namor. I'm not sure if Leader would have ended up killing me still, so that could have actually saved me about 400 points on this one if I didn't make that mistake. For stage 2, the Hivemind Super Skrull in stage 2, I had to do that mirror matchup on this one. I got a 79.64. Even if I would have failed this attack, I would have kept it. I would have used Pegasus as the cleanup afterwards, but I would have tried to make sure I killed Super Skrull on that. I'm not sure how efficient this would have been or effective if I didn't get the coin flip, so I just want to give you a heads up about that one. For stage 3, I got an 83.60. I used Masters of Evil with Echo a lot into the X-Men teams on stage 3 because that offense up, so they get those assists. It usually gets me a pretty good turn bonus. If anything, it's the health bonus that I usually take a punishment on, especially if Gambit is in that room, which is what happened here. For stage 4, I got an 83.53. That Apocalypse doing the Falcon punch into the Red Hulk was definitely luck. If he would have punched my Apocalypse or my Weaver, then it would have been kind of a lose condition there. I think I would have been fine if I would have lost the Quicksilver, because I'd still have Red Hulk to do rewinds and eventually get to his ultimate. For stage 5, I get an 83.65. The Eternals comp that you see here is definitely still a really good counter against Pegasus in any other room. That's why I was never a big fan of putting them on defense, because they give up a lot of efficiency points. And for stage 6, I get an 83.68. I think I could have gotten this down to about an 83.70. That's usually what I get on this type of team that I use into the Secret Defenders. The Quicksilver was definitely an interesting addition because he definitely went after the Vulture, and the Ms. Marvel Hardlight took their turns, so that added a different dynamic to it. So I thought that was a pretty interesting twist. And for my defense, for stage 1, they got a 79.59. This was my out of time X-Men kind of composition. They used their Spider Society that dropped the attack, then they went in with their own out of time to finish it off. For stage 2, they used the full Bifrost into my Bifrost death pool. This got them at 83.60, so pretty good efficiency bonus. I have seen this fail. It's just mine aren't up to that about 3 million range to where the full Bifrost doesn't really work against it. And stage 3 is the one that didn't get cleared again for me. So this is my Extreme X-Men with Dorm. They initially went in with Masters of Evil. That didn't clear it. They only killed Dorm. Then they went in with the Weaver, Dorm, Nova kind of underworld thing. That didn't do anything, so they backed out. Then went in with Spider Society and backed out again. So it's only got them 5 points. For stage 4, I did move the Infinity Watch into here for this round. This ended up getting them at 83-36, so not very efficient on this hit. For stage 5, they dropped an attack here as well. So I had my Spider Society in here. They used the new Warriors and it didn't really do anything. Then they went in with that Tangled Web, Nova Dorm, and you see that they had a 0 turn bonus on here. This got them a 79-45 on here. And for stage 6, they got an 83-68. They used their Superior 6 into my Secret Defenders with Morgan and Emma. Overall, I was very happy with my performance on this one. This is a very turtle-heavy defense, and I only dropped the 2 attacks. The one from stage 1, where I kind of fat-thumbed it, and then the one in stage 2. However, that could have turned out very bad as well if the coin flip wasn't on my side. I did make a few adjustments to my defense. I ended up moving my Spider Society into stage 2 because a lot of people are struggling with that. So I moved Infinity Watch back into 5. We're going to see how that goes. But as far as my overall defense goes, I love how my stage 1 and my stage 3 are continually kind of getting me the wins in my rounds. That stage 3 especially can be very tricky if you don't one-shot it, because that Sunspot will give Arity that extra ability energy on spawn, plus the offense ups. It's a very tricky room if you don't approach it correctly. Let me know what you guys think though. Do you like my defense? What are you guys doing? Have you also ran into Spider Society on defense yet? They're very scary, and I'm actually pretty impressed with them. But that's all I have for you today. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.